Hey everybody, today we are talking about something that everybody absolutely needs in their house and quite frankly is the one thing that no matter where you move, there's a slight difference in how much of it you need, but you always definitely need it. So we're talking about HVAC today. And the best person that we have here at Midlands Military Home Hub to talk about this is our HVAC partner, James White. James, it's best that you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and about your company.
Hey, I'm James White with TNT HVAC. We do residential and commercial heating and air, even doing refrigeration, working on restaurants. That's us.
All right. So I know for sure I've moved so many times and there's been different types of HVAC systems. I've had a swamp cooler before. I've had, a mini split before. It's just so many different types of HVAC systems. But if if I just bought a house today, what's the very first thing you tell me to check with my HVAC system?
It's a great question. I had a friend actually call me earlier last week and ask the same thing. What I told him was one, check the filter, see how the filter looks, and then take a look at the outdoor unit, see if you've got any overgrowth, how dirty it looks. It'll give you a good indication of how well it's been maintained, whether any work has been done to it recently. If your filters are dirty and then it's covered in bushes, it's safe to say that you've got some underlying problems that are gonna create issues.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes this stuff gets trapped in there and people don't realize it. So if you do, like you just said, go check and make sure that it's clear for sure. Um, we all know every time you walk in Home Depot, there's a guy in the front trying to sell you a HVAC unit, but you really hope you never have to oblige his invitation. So, what's the most expensive mistake you see new homeowners make, and how can they avoid it as far as HVAC goes?
Biggest mistake is not getting your unit serviced after you buy your house. A lot of times, if the unit hasn't been serviced in the past, the first thing that happens is the drain line clogs up. And when that happens, if it's not been cleared or it doesn't have the proper safeties, it'll overflow the drain pan, that hit your ceiling, cause a bunch of sheetrock issue, have to repaint, redo the mudding, sheetrock, and everything. That's the biggest thing that I see happen, and it's the easiest thing to fix. Just get your unit serviced.
Yeah, and you're talking about like the P trap, basically, or
Yeah.
okay.
So if that trap clogs up, or even further down the line where it exits the house, if it gets buried in mulch or something like that, it'll just back up and fill up the unit with water. And then there's a secondary pan underneath the unit that if that fills up, from there it goes onto your ceiling.
And my house is I don't know, somebody told me my house is a little unique because I have a furnace in the attic. My condenser unit for upstairs is outside beside the condenser slash heat pump unit that does all the work for downstairs. So that whoever set that up, I guess they determined that it needed to be downstairs versus in the attic. I'm not sure. So what are some early warning signs that something is about to go wrong with your HVAC?
The easiest test that I tell people to do is take a meat thermometer or one of those infrared temp guns and check to see what temperature the air blowing out of your supply vents, the ones that blow air, and see the temperature of the air going into the returns, the ones that usually help hold the filters, and the ones that pull air into your system. If it's a properly working air conditioning system, you should have between 15 to 20 degree difference between the two supply and return grills. If it's outside of that range, typically it's an indication that it's not working as it should, and you may be having some issues.
Okay. Well, and if I only did one thing consistently to take care of my HVAC system, what should it be? I mean, you
Change
kind of
your
said it already, but
change your filters. That is the number one issue I see. Come summertime, it's clogged up. It'll cause your system to freeze up, your compressor to overheat, and if it's clogged in the wintertime, it'll cause your furnace to overheat, unit not able to breathe. It can cause major issues, and it's the simplest thing you can do.
I tell you, when I was working in the housing office on Fort Jackson, the summertime would come around and we kind of already would know that there was about to be a bunch of HVAC problems. And a lot of times what I was told was the settings that people were putting on the thermostat inside the house was actually part of the cause of it going down. So I know this is not a question we talked about before we started, but the debate of what a good setting is for the inside of the house, because I'm sure there's some households where like they like to keep it super cold, or some people don't like it cold. From a technician standpoint, what would you say about the setting for the thermostat inside the house?
Okay, so I've got two answers to that. What I tell customers is set your thermostat where you're comfortable at. Look at your power bill and go from there. Because there's no point in you having a $30 power bill if you've got to have it 85 degrees in your house. Nobody's comfortable at that point. But at the same time, I like to have my house on 66 degrees in the summertime. I work in the heat all the time, and I'm okay with having a $150 power bill. Now, the other answer to that question is I wouldn't set your unit above 80 degrees in the summertime or below 60 in the wintertime. So when you set it above 80 in the summertime, you have a lot of humidity that builds up in the home. It can create issues with your paint. I've seen it create mildew, growth issues. And then if you set it too low in the wintertime, you run the risk of pipes freezing, different other things in your house not working properly, like your refrigerator. It needs to be a certain temperature for the refrigerator to work properly, because it uses airflow and temperature differences to cool your produce, your meat, and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, look, y'all heard it here. He gave you the information. So if you're trying to justify it, and what he said is what you've been saying, you can settle the argument in your house now. You don't have to wait until he comes by the house to fix it to figure it out. So James, I appreciate your time. I know this was short, but I really appreciate you coming on so you could explain the HVAC system to people, especially ones that are trying to buy a house. As a homeowner, it's kind of like you can look up and search for everything, but it's always better to hear from somebody's mouth who works on this kind of stuff every single day. So, thank you again.
Absolutely.
If you are looking for James White's business information, you can go to our page over at MidlandsMilitaryHomeHub.com and look at the home service partners tab. He is listed there as one of our partners, and many other folks. Over time, that will increase in people. So if you're watching this and there's like 7 to 8 people on there now, then you're already in the future, I guess. So again, thanks, James. I appreciate it, and see you guys on the next video. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but I'll definitely be coming out with something else to educate home buyers about their home. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.